So let's delve into the tale of Peter Parker and his disastrous roommate, Johnny Storm. Johnny had recently returned from the grave, armed with the cosmic control rod that bestowed upon him the power to rule the negative zone. In a heart-to-heart conversation with his old buddy, Peter Johnny confessed that things felt rather strange since his return, and he pondered the need for a change, possibly even vacating the Baxter building. Peter's inner thoughts echo Johnny's sentiments, acknowledging the constant chaos. He advises Johnny to follow his example and escape to his apartment for solace. Johnny agrees, suggesting that moving in might be a good idea. However, just 3 weeks into their roommate experiment, Peter's top priority becomes clear: evict Johnny Storm. As Peter prepared himself for another day of work, the routine was interrupted by Johnny's frantic screams echoing down the hallway. Johnny claimed that Electro was launching an attack on Manhattan. Panic surged through Peter, and he sprinted towards Johnny, ready to face the impending danger. However, as Peter approached, Johnny's demeanor shifted, and he casually informed his friend that it was all just a jest. In reality, it was time for breakfast, and Johnny knew Peter had an important presentation ahead. After Peter hastily finished his meal, Johnny, with a sly grin, urged him to grab his coat because rain was in the forecast. What Johnny conveniently omitted to mention was the peculiar alteration Reed had made to their closet. It now served as a portal to the ominous negative zone. Johnny quickly took charge, ordering the bugs, whatever they were, to back away from the bewildered Peter. With urgency in his voice, he guided Peter out of the peculiar situation, telling him, "Buddy, you better hurry. You're going to be late for work now." Amidst Peter's crucial demonstration at work, his phone incessantly buzzes and rings, demanding his immediate attention. The persistent caller, none other than Johnny Storm, had triggered Peter's emergency line. However, Johnny's request couldn't have been more unexpected. He casually mentioned that he was planning to have a few people over tonight and thought it would be convenient if Peter could swing by the store after work to pick up some drinks. In that moment, the priorities in Peter's mind shifted dramatically. At the top of his to-do list now was a visceral urge to beat Johnny into a coma and then swiftly evict his unconscious body later on his way home. Peter trudged through the relentless downpour, drenched from head to toe. He finally reached the store, grabbed the beverages, and stepped outside. But just as he thought he might catch a break, Johnny called him again, this time with an additional request. "Hey, man," Johnny chimed in. "Oh, did you remember to get chips?" It seemed that Peter's evening was taking an unexpectedly chaotic turn, and the rain-soaked trek to the store was just the beginning of his misadventures with the ever-unpredictable Johnny Storm. 20 minutes of being drenched later, Peter finally arrived back at his apartment, only to discover that Johnny's modest gathering had transformed into a full-blown, raucous party. Peter, known for abstaining from alcohol, found himself persuaded by Johnny to try some non-alcoholic concoction known as magic mare's milk. After the trying day he'd endured, he decided to take a shot, thinking, how bad could it be? As it turned out, it was pretty awful, and he unwittingly embarked on one of the wildest nights of his life, far wilder than he had initially anticipated. The following morning, Peter awoke on the couch, briefly contemplating if he had overreacted the night before. He optimistically considered that he and Johnny could coexist harmoniously. Then his ears caught Johnny on the phone, charmingly telling a lady he had danced with the night prior, "Tigers don't like to cuddle, but lucky for you, a lion." He assured her she had hit the jackpot, hung up, and casually mentioned that Mary Jane had sent her regards. Walking away, he chuckled, admitting he was just teasing Peter. However, Peter wasn't finding the situation as amusing. Feeling the need for a shower, he gathered his belongings, reminding himself that they had a good time the previous night. But he couldn't escape the realization that life involved taking both the good and the bad. As he pushed open the bathroom door, Peter had reached his breaking point. Storming down the hallway, he declared that he had enough. No more magic concoctions, no more mysterious doorways, no more irritating phone calls, and no more John. Johnny asks his friend, "Are you asking me to leave?" And Peter says, "Yes, it's time for you to go." It was time for him to depart. "Get out," Peter exclaimed angrily. While Johnny initially thought Peter was overreacting as usual, Peter escorted him to the bathroom and told him to take a look for himself. Johnny's reaction was clear. "Yeah, that'll do it. I'll pack my bags." As it turned out, Annihilus, an unexpected guest, had made himself at home in their bathroom.